Astronomers believe that the orbits of a number of bodies in the distant reaches of the solar system have been disrupted by the pull of an as yet unidentified planet. First proposed by a group at Caltech in the US, this alien world was theorized to explain the distorted paths seen in distant icy bodies. In order to fit in with the data they have, this alien world, popularly called Planet 9, would need to be roughly 4 times the size of Earth, 10 times the mass, and located more than 300 times the distance between the Earth and the Sun, or 300 astronomical units abbreviated as AU. Researchers say a body of this size and mass will explain the clustered paths of a number of icy minor planets beyond Neptune. Astronomers are still hunting for this proposed ninth planet lurking somewhere in the outer reaches of our solar system. But now, they have something else to search for. New research from the University of Arizona hints that there may be another planet out there, waiting for us to find it. They are calling this other planet Planet 10. Researchers Kat Volk and Rino Malhotra studied the orbits of objects in the Kuiper Belt, the asteroid field where Pluto is located. Objects in the Kuiper Belt orbit on an incline relative to the rest of the solar system. Typically, unusual orbits like these can be explained by the gravitational influence of nearby planets, but there are no existing planets that could have caused this kind of tilt. One explanation proposed by the researchers is that there is another planet out there messing with those Kuiper Belt objects. According to the pair's calculations, the undiscovered planet would have to be about the same size as Mars. The researchers predict that the mystery planet, or Planet 10, is around twice as far away from us as Pluto, at 50 to 55 AU. So according to astronomers, there are possibly 2 yet undiscovered planets lurking in our solar system. Planet 9 is 10 times the mass of the Earth and located more than 300 times the distance between the Earth and the Sun, while Planet 10 is about the same size as Mars, or a little less than Earth's mass, and located between 50 to 55 times the distance between the Earth and the Sun. I believe these 2 planets will be, respectively, the red and blue star Kachinas of the Hopi prophecy. as well as the two stars colliding according to the warning of Garabandal. I also believe Planet 9 will be Revelation 12's seven-headed red dragon, while Planet 10 will be the crown of 12 stars. And the Bible's comparison of these two planets is quite accurate, as the red dragon, or Planet 9, should appear more massive, at least 10 times bigger, than the crown of 12 stars, or Planet 10. Planets 9 and 10 may have had a close encounter in the distant past, and Planet 9 may have caused Planet 10 to break down into 12 pieces, making Planet 10 appear like a crown of 12 stars. According to the writings of Zecharaia Sitchin, the origin of our solar system occurred when the rogue planet Nibiru or Marduk, which I also believe to be Planet 9, collided with the planet Tiamat, which I believe to be Planet 10. As a result, Tiamat broke into several pieces that eventually made up the Earth, the Moon, and the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. This cataclysmic event had the side effects of allowing Nibiru's fresh waters to mix with the sea waters of Tiamat to create the Earth's oceans and rivers. It also shot Nibiru way out of orbit to its present supposedly 3,600-year cycle. In Mesopotamian mythology, Tiamat is a primordial goddess of the salt sea, the symbol of the chaos of primordial creation, referred to as a woman and described as the glistening one. Tiamat is a creator goddess through a sacred marriage between salt and fresh water, peacefully giving birth to the cosmos through successive generations. This description of Tiamat fits perfectly Revelation 12's description of the woman, who is pregnant and clothed with the sun. Tiamat is later described as a sea serpent or dragon. However, Assyriologist Alexander Heidel disagreed with this identification and argued that the dragon form cannot be imputed to Tiamat with certainty. I agree with this, and I believe that the demonization of Tiamat may be a later alteration of the original mythos about her. I also believe it is Nibiru and not Tiamat that should be identified with the dragon, just like what Revelation 12 tells us. Note also that in the altered version of the Mesopotamian mythology, Nibiru is the protagonist and Tiamat is the antagonist, while in the Bible narrative, the reverse is true. No wonder then that the altered Mesopotamian mythology portrays Tiamat as a monster that gave birth to monsters, while the Bible portrays her as a mother that will give birth to the male child that will be snatched up to God and to his throne. Planet 9 or Nibiru, having a mass of at least 10 times that of Earth and 4 times its size, has properties quite similar to the planet Uranus. And as such, it is likely that Planet 9 may be a gas and ice giant as well, having several moons of its own. In fact, the 7 heads of the red dragon of Revelation 12 may refer to the 7 moons of Planet 9. Also, if Planet 9 is to approach Earth's orbit like it is prophesied to do, then Planet 9 is expected to develop a comet's tail as it warms up and begins to release gases due to the effects of solar radiation and the solar wind acting upon its gaseous and icy atmosphere. This comet's tail is what Revelation 12 described as the tail of the red dragon. Is there a way to know where planets 9 and 10 are currently located? With recent advances in imaging technology pushing the boundaries of astronomy and space exploration more rapidly than ever before, new discoveries within the solar system and beyond are now being made at a breakneck pace. Part of that exploration has been for the elusive Planet X, a theorized large trans-Neptunian world that has otherwise eluded attempts at detection. Until now, only smaller planetoids have been discovered in the deep dark of space, but two new findings hold promise as new candidates for the title of Planet X. The announcement of these two candidates, one found in the direction of Alpha Centauri, the other in the direction of W Aquila, was made in two separate papers, published by Wouter Flemings and his team, dated December 10, 2015, and submitted to the Astronomy and Astrophysics Journal. They estimate that the W Aquila object is at a distance of 12 to 25 AU and is 220 to 880 kilometers in size. Alternatively, they also theorize that the object could be as far out as 4,000 AU, of which would make it a large planet-sized object. At 55 AU, which is where Planet 10 is theorized to be located, the W Aquila object should be approximately half the size of the Moon. Of course, the object discovered may be just one of the 12 pieces of Planet 10. There are fewer estimates about the Alpha Centauri object as they still need to gather more data. However, they believe it could be a super-Earth at 300 AU, which is where Planet 9 is theorized to be located. I believe the Alpha Centauri object is Planet 9 or Nibiru or the red star Kachinas, while the W Aquila object is Planet 10 or Tiamat or the blue star Kachinas. This also means that Nibiru is currently located at constellation Centaurus, while Tiamat is currently located at constellation Aquila. In the murky boundary between our solar system and the rest of the galaxy, scientists have spotted a bright band of surprising high-energy emissions. The results come from the first all-sky map created by NASA's new Interstellar Boundary Explorer spacecraft, also known as IBEX, which launched in October 2008. While orbiting Earth, IBEX monitors incoming neutral atoms that originate billions of miles away at the solar system's edge to learn about the interaction between the Sun and the cold expanse of space. IBEX is showing us a very narrow ribbon that is 2 to 3 times brighter than anything else in the sky. This ribbon of energy lies beyond the very edge of the solar system, known as the heliopause, where the solar wind streaming from the Sun finally peters out. The heliopause is believed to be at least 121 AU from the Sun. Now remember, Planet 9 is theorized to lie 300 AU from the Sun. Could Planet 9 be the cause of this ribbon of energy? It is believed that the ribbon exists in a special location where neutral hydrogen atoms from the solar wind move across a local magnetic field just outside the heliopause. In other words, the ribbon of energy is caused by the presence of a yet unknown source of magnetic field just outside the heliopause. If we now plot the constellations across this magnetic ribbon of energy, we can clearly see that there are two prominent areas where this energy is strongest. These are those areas that are colored red in the sky map. These two areas happen to lie in the constellations Centaurus and Aquila, where I also believe planets 9 and 10 are currently located. What does this tell us about planets 9 and 10, or Nibiru and Tiamat? This tells us that these two planets have very strong magnetic fields that are strong enough to be detectable even while they are still located very far from the Sun or Earth. These strong magnetic fields will significantly affect the two planets' interactions once they get dangerously close with each other as well as with our planet. Astronomers expect Planet 9 to come no closer than 200 AU from the Sun. This means they do not expect Planet 9 to have any catastrophic encounter with Earth. However, these astronomers are only considering Planet 9's gravitational interaction with the Sun when they made this assumption. I believe a strong magnetic interaction with the Sun could make planets 9 and 10 approach the Sun much faster and closer than anyone expected. Now, when do I expect this event to take place? In one of my previous videos titled September 18, 2020, Revelation 12 and the Birth of the Other Paraclete like Christ, I explained why I believe the heavenly sign of Revelation 12, which is marked by the appearance of both Nibiru and Tiamat, will be fulfilled on September 18, 2020. I also explained in that video why I believe the sign of Revelation 12 is not for Gentile Christians. Instead, it is a sign for the children of Israel, represented by the sun, moon, and 12 stars, that the time has come for them to embrace the new covenant, which, according to Apostle Paul, is the Jerusalem above, or the heavenly woman of Revelation 12. In other words, the fulfillment of Revelation 12 is when the veil that covers the hearts of the children of Israel will be removed. And the one to remove this veil is Christ's promised Paraclete, who will be the Holy Spirit appearing as the male child of the heavenly woman. The crown of 12 stars on the head of the woman represents the 12 tribes of Israel. Genesis chapter 39 verses 9 to 10. Then he, Joseph, son of Jacob, had another dream, and he told it to his brothers. Listen, he said, I had another dream, and this time the sun and moon and 11 stars were bowing down to me. When he told his father as well as his brothers, his father rebuked him and said, What is this dream you had? Will your mother and I and your brothers actually come and bow down to the ground before you? The appearance of this crown of 12 stars on the head of the woman before she gives birth to the male child means that the 12 tribes of Israel will be gathered together in Israel before the sign of Revelation 12 is fulfilled on September 18, 2020. Who will gather the lost tribes of Israel? And where are the lost tribes of Israel to be found? I will be discussing this in my next vlog.